Hi guys. Hi guys, and welcome to another draft with ShadowWolf252. We'll be going to another GTC Gatecrash 4322. Should be starting at any minute now. And here it is, about to fire. Let's see what we get. Breeding pool. Well, though good, very useful, but not really something we want to pick. Definitely a lot of good cards here. Very good Boros deck with the Bomber Corp, the Voya Halberdiers, the Daring Skyjack. But I think that here really the pick is the Experiment 1. It's a great Simic card, very useful, and hopefully we'll get back this Frilled Oculus or this Gapland Charger, or we might change into something else, who knows, but I think for now, I think the Experiment 1 is probably the best here. So, out of all these cards, I think if we want to stay in Simic, the best for us is Crown Ceratok. This is a great card in Simic. It'll give our Experiment 1 trample and evolve it. Voidwalk would actually be good with the Ceratok, because if we keep flashing our non-evolved creatures, they can just keep making other creatures evolve. But I think I think this is really too much of a combo thing for draft. I think the Crowd Ceratok is best here. Basilica Screecher, really good, but not in our colors. Definitely a Cloudfin Raptor with what we want to do. It is probably one of the best Simic cards out there. Anything here good? Denova Horror is good in Dimir. Pit Fight is really good for removal, and Simic as well. But I think it's best to take this Cloudfin Raptor for now. And here, not too much love for the Adaptive Snapjaw, although I'm actually more keen on it than most people are. The Metropolis Sprite is okay, but what I like here actually is the Incursion Specialist, because it'll evolve our creatures more than Metropolis Sprite will. Although on the other hand, the Metropolis Sprite is flying, but I feel like we'll probably get a chance to see more of those we want, and this is going to be a nicer way to evolve our creatures. Okay, so here I'm not really in love with any of these Hindervines, although it's probably most useful in the Simic deck. Fogs are never really that great. Fog effect preventing all combat damage. Verdant Haven is nice. The Key Rune, probably don't really need it. I think Sage's Organism is great. It has some power and toughness to evolve our guys. Here, there's a lot of Dimir cards, although really this is definitely not very limited playable, but the Corpse Blockade and the Paranoid Delusion is nice too. But for us, definitely a Burst of Strength. It's a pretty good card. I just wish there were a little bit more creatures going around. So here it's between a Metropolis Sprite and an Adaptive Snapjaw. I think, as a good friend says, when in doubt, Agoraphobia is okay too, but actually, that might be too bad. But I think having a creature is always better, and again, when in doubt, choose a cheaper card. Anemones aren't the best, but I'll take them. They can be useful. Oh, wow, this is quite a late Oculus. This is a really good card in the Simic. It helps evolve and is quite annoying to block because of its ability. I will happily take this. Got the Void Walk back. And, I really should probably take Last Thoughts over it, but it could be fun. Let's give it a try. Nothing really good here. And there's nothing I would even want to take from anyone else. Maybe a Shielded Passage. That can be sort of useful in Boros or of decks, but we won't be playing it. Yeah, nothing good here. This guy can be sort of annoying to block, so might as well remove that. I'd actually take the Millennial Gargoyle over the Hindervines here. It's more useful. Okay. Some more good Boros cards, but didn't see that many that were going around, so Thespian Stage, though cool, is not really the best. I think Leyline Phantom is actually a pretty good card in Simic, just because when it keeps bouncing, you can just keep evolving your creatures, so I think this is the main pick in here. And there's a Naturalize for a sideboard. Last Thoughts is sort of okay. Agoraphobia again is not so bad, but especially because it's being good removal, but again, I think in this sort of deck, it's just good to build up your creatures, to build up your board. We might even get the Agoraphobia. We might even get the Agoraphobia back. We'll see. Definitely very tempting between another Cloudfin Raptor, but Simic Charm is just really, really good, and I would be more than happy to take it. Zamek Guildmage is actually not so good. I mean, when the games go late, it can be a pain in the ass, and I think we all remember from my first draft how annoying that Guildmage could be. Or maybe that was a different Simic deck that I faced that I probably didn't record. But anyway, I think that I'll go for the Cloudfin Raptor here. Gridlock is really, really good in the Simic deck. Nothing else here. Bane Alley Broker is really quite decent in Dimir. Luminate Primordial is okay, too expensive, also completely not in our colors, so definitely Gridlock is the card of choice here. Wow. Boros is... There's some good cards being passed around. This is actually a really good card for Boros, although I really don't think I see enough of the 2-drops to switch into it. So I will go with Sage's Row Denizen. Merfolk's of Death, just really not a very good card. Honestly, I'd rather just take a Clinging Anemones. And definitely a Drakewing Krasis. Very nice Simic card. Slaughterhorn is nice too, and will probably not... I don't think this pack might even cycle, but it would be nice to get one of those too. It's a good green creature, and we're lacking in the green department just a bit, but I'm more than happy with the Krasis. Urban Evolution actually also pretty good. I'd definitely be okay taking it. hoping to get some more Croconuras or Shamble Sharks in the next pack. I doubt they'd be cycling around this time, but maybe. Yeah, I'll just take a last thoughts. This was our original. Might as well take the Snapjaw. It's not terrible. Definitely not terrible, but it's just sort of pricey. Yeah, might as well deny whoever is playing Gruul or Ruination Worm. I'll take this, but we won't be playing it. Oh, right, immediately sent it to... We don't really want to play any of those. A really wonderful Orzhov card. In here, I think what's best for us is we could take another Frilled Oculus, but actually I feel more like playing a Slaughterhorn. It's a nice combat trick. And creature, if we need, so... For us, I think the best thing here is an Ivy Lane Denizen, really useful for Simic. A great way to get more counters. Although our creatures tend to be heavier in blue than in... Definitely take this Croconura, although it's unfortunate to pass up a Hands of Binding. It's always a very useful card. Ruskerb is also not so bad, but Croconura is definitely better. I don't really have any gates, although this is nice as a creature. I actually be willing to take this Hands of Binding. Yeah, we'll take this Watcher here. It's a 2-drop at the very least, even if we don't have any gates. Although it would be nice to get one. Although I guess, really, Simic Guildgate would be the only one that's of any use to us. Sometimes it's a long wait. Okay. Well, I mean, that's a good Orzhov card, but it's also a little bit more controlling. But for us, I think let's go with another Metropolis Sprite. Well, actually, Well, I think we have enough green that we really don't need a second adaptive snapdraw. Let's see our cost sort. I should have been looking at that. Yeah, well, it's not too high actually, but let's just go with the Metropolis sprite. Okay, so Nimbus Swimmer is actually really a decent card. I think it's pretty underrated. That being said, the Drakewing Krasis is also really quite good. I'd honestly wish I could take both of these cards. Um, yeah, I think the Krasis is better for now, just because. And this Krasis is one that would be more than happy to play. The Frilled Oculus is, I think, the best card for us here. We really don't want another Anemones, or any of these for that matter. Scatter Arc is not so good in this. I'll just take it. It's not even that I don't think anyone would take it and play it, but I think the same could be said for most of those cards. I don't really want anything here. Let's just hate pick a Nav Squad. This card can be sort of annoying, although generally, believe it or not, I've really seen this mostly played in Boros decks, which is really weird. This is definitely more of an Orzhov card. None of these things are things that we're going to play. Alright. So, soon we'll be able to deck build. There's no reason in hiding anything, because it's all going to go away when we deck build anyway. Okay, so we definitely want both Cloudfin Raptors, the Experiment 1. Croconura is great. The 3 Krasis, and the Simic Charm. Urban Evolution for sure. Let's sort by cost. Frilled Oculus, definitely. Hands of Binding, not too bad. Definitely want the Ivy Lane Denizen and the Crown Ceratok. The Slaughterhorn for sure. Burst of Strength is a nice trick. What do we want? We want the Gridlock for sure. Some Metropolis. A Metropolis, but maybe we don't want too many of them. We have still more cards. Which one? I think an Incursion Specialist would be better. I think a Leyline Phantom is fun. And I know it's sort of it's sketchy, but I think I'm going to try the Voidwalk. There are some targets you get. The Ceratok is good for it. I mean, even the Incursion Specialist, stuff like that. Ceratok is the best. And even with like something like the Ivy Denizen, if we like a Slaughterhorn or the Drakewing Krasis are really good. All these creatures are stuff we don't have to worry about getting rid of. +1/+1 counters on them. Although I feel like this is sort of like a famous last words sort of thing, but. Alright, I think I'll put one more Sage's Road Denizen and another Metropolis sprite. So, let's see how this works out. So, land should be pretty easy. We don't have just 2 colors. No fixing really. I'll go 9 and 8. I just always like to have it a little bit more uniform, and well, let's do that actually. might know best. We do have a lot more blue than green. If I find that we'll put in an alternate art island just to be fun. If I find that I'm being sort of screwed for green, I'll definitely put more in. But yeah, we do have a lot of 2-drops in the blue range, so yeah. Alright, let's give this a try, and I'll get back to you guys when the first round starts.